The Metropolitan Police Department, Community Safety Bureau, Cybercrimes Division Investigation Unit 11 Digimon Crime Response Team returns in today's deck profile episode. And while I could have just said Digipolice or D-Brigade, where's the fun in that? Although you might be a smidge confused at why I'm going over this deck profile, especially with the release of BT21, you might be saying, but DIGI-PANDA, there was no D-Brigade or Digipolice cards in BT21. There was one, and it came with every box purchase of World Convergence. And with just this one card, does it warrant enough of a discussion for a deck profile? I think so. LM Darkdramon is the newest member of D-Brigade to make an appearance, and while it's not Digipolice, most of the effects of cards of Digipolice cards also reflect D-Brigade. But what makes Darkdramon so special? Well, for starters, it is the first Ace Digimon for this archetype, being a black-purple Digimon that has Scapegoat. Meaning whenever this Digimon would be deleted, whether it be by battle or card effect, you can delete one of your other Digimon to keep it in play. And when you delete your BT4 commandramons, let's just say that's going to add value on value with how this deck has been designed. This Digimon also has a when digivolving and on-play effect, in which a D digivolves one on one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you delete all of their Digimon with the lowest play cost. While it's not DeathXmon grueling when it comes to its effect, the fact that it does it on play and when digivolving makes it a game changer for this specific archetype. Why? Because Brigadramon's end of turn effect can play it. Though it has no other effects that make it obnoxious, like when attacking or main once per turn effect, because of this specific Digimon, I began looking into level 7 Digimon I could pair this with. After all, with my last variant of the deck utilizing Shadow Seraphimon Ace and Chaosmon, could I find a Digimon that is on par with the silliness of this specific card? The answer is yes. Yes, I absolutely can. While in the previous builds I was leaning on Brigadramon playing out a level 5 Digimon and Blast Evoing into Shadow Seraphimon Ace, I couldn't find Shadow Seraphimon Ace, but I could manipulate the top of the deck with various effects in order to draw into it when I Digivolve. And while I could use Chaosmon and search for it via numerous card effects, this is where Ultimatechaosmon has taken its place instead. Ultimatechaosmon is the new super top-end monster that I've been looking into. This Digimon digivolves for 7 from a yellow, green, black, or purple level 6 Digimon, but you can DNA with it with a yellow or black level 6 and a green or purple level 6. When digivolving, if DNA digivolving, you may place up to 2 level 6 cards from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Then for each level 6, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Now the fun thing now is, for the combo! With Brigadramon, end of turn, you could play out Darkdramon, and because of Darkdramon's Scapegoat, more than likely you have enough Digimon in play to protect from pretty much any deletion based effects. And assuming the turn gets back to you with all the Digimon in play, you can now DNA the two together to create Ultimatechaosmon. Because of how Digipolice D-Brigade decks operate, they have so many effects now which can check the top of the deck and trash anything that you really want, putting multiple level 6 Digimon there. And should you tech a second Brigadramon or Darkdramon, that means that when Ultimatechaosmon is deleted, you can partition out both Darkdramons to prevent overflow and simultaneously trigger 2 on-play instances. Meaning you would digivolve one on one Digimon, delete the lowest level, and then do it again. And while I've shown you the combo of how it's done, the purpose of the deck isn't to necessarily build the Ultimatechaosmon, but to operate as a come-from-behind victory if you're playing an absurdly slow game. Remember, if Ultimatechaosmon has 4 or more Digivolution sources that are level 6, this Digimon gets Security Attack plus 3, a quadruple breaker. Largely, the deck that you now see on screen plays more so in line with your typical Digipolice deck. And while my previous variant didn't run certain cards, we're back on them because we could honestly use memory. For the level 2s, I strictly run BT14 Missimons. While not effective in the early game, this Digimon has a when attacking, once per turn effect, in which you may return 3 cards of the D-Brigade or Digipolice straight from the trash to the top of the deck to buff your Digimon by 2000 DP. The thing is, in testing, the longer the game goes, the more prone you are to decking out, and this card helps you to prevent that from happening. You could also run the EX3 Missimon variant to reboot while you have another D-Brigade trait Digimon in play, but I did not find it necessary. Level 3s, you run a pretty standard line, 4 of course being the BT4 variant that replaces itself on the battlefield with another commandramon named Digimon, hicommandramon included. 3 for the decoy effect, which sometimes you might not have that inheritable, and this really helps. 2 for DP buffs and inheritable DP buffs for all other D-Brigade and Digipolice trait Digimon, and the best one of them all being the BT14 variant in which you reveal the top 5 and add 1 card with a D-Brigade or Digipolice trait. While true, none of your cards can add Ultimatechaosmon to the hand, the best aspect of this searcher is that it places the revealed cards on top or the bottom of the deck. Meaning in a game of memory, you can use this to directly sequence which cards you draw, which you reveal for future effects, and which ones you'll likely trash. All in all, the best card in the deck. Level 4 is of course you're going to run hicommandramon. It's treated as commandramon and adds another 4 cards to potentially bring to the board through your various effects. And of course you're going to utilize sealsdramon as well because you have the opportunity to return certain Digipolice cards back to the top in order to either draw an Evo to use their effects, or potentially bring to the board with commandramon. But the last 2 slots bring back the oldie numemon. Both this and the sealsdramon are great rush bodies that can end the game. Level 5s are standard. Cargodramon surprisingly have moved to MVP for this deck, especially if you're going for the long game and a meme way to eat for security. Because of its ability to replenish your army on board, this not only sifts through the deck, but could trash the potential level 6 Digimon as well. Tankdramon is still nice though, in that if you Evo into it, this does let you glean the top 3 and potentially restack the top to add certain cards to hand, while others get played or trashed. Of course the level 6s, we've got the standard brigadramon and darkdramons, but I'm still on 2 Shadow Seraphimon Ace because this card is still hilarious in my book. DDG 3 on 1 Digimon and then block to change the attack target for a 5000 DP debuff? Hilarious. Other considerations would be Medieval Gallantmon, as this does work with ultimatechaosmon as well. And it is for the fact that you can play for reduced cost with how many suspended Digimon you may have. Super top end, you could still run chaosmon, but now I am on ultimatechaosmon. And again, because it can't be found, sequencing your effects accordingly to draw into it are very important. You might also opt to run Deathxmon, and because Darkdramon Ace is purple, you could run Shinegrammon Ruin mode. But remember, you're going to overflow regardless. Option-wise, 2 DCD bombs are minor security threats. And of course this also has the Digipolice trait. And of course I'm running 2 copies of the Metropolitan Police Department, Community Safety Bureau, Cybercrimes Division Investigation Unit 11 Digimon Crime Response Team. This 3-cost option lets you reveal the top 3, add 1 card with D-Brigade or Digipolice, and return the rest to the top. Meaning again, you can cycle appropriately to ensure that your next Evo goes to hand. The delay plays a 4-cost or less Digipolice trait card amongst the top 3, and then trashes the rest. Meaning you could play out the sealsdramon or the numemon for the rushing game. Tamer-wise, the only tamers I run are Satsuki Tamehime, who can honestly come in handy with her inheritable jamming and reboot. But alas, she cannot mind link to D-Brigade trait Digimon unless they have the Digipolice keyword. All in all, there's a lot of focus on newer decks, but I think it's also still important to see where older decks are and where they could go. What are your thoughts on Digipolice moving forward? And do you think this deck is viable in a competitive setting? Let me know as we explore a few other decks this week. This DIGI-PANDA, logging out.